today's video I'm going to be going through and making a jewelry box for my wife. I had the idea a while back when I had picked up a little wedding ring container for I think 25 cents at a yard sale, and I just had all sorts of grand ideas about it, but this one ended up sticking out in my head and I've been hanging on to it for a while now. And what I'm going to be doing is just kind of enlarging and taking the same concept and the hinge out of the back of it and replicating it with wood. I thought that'd be a really cool aesthetic, since if you go to the jewelry store, yes, these are fancy and yes, they do look nice, but I wanted something a little bit better for my wife. And I had an idea when I got this necklace for Valentine's Day that I was going to upscale this basic box that you kind of get from the store. It's not bad, but it's the oh, I know this is a jewelry box kind of deal that you end up not using and throwing away the box afterwards. And this is the same kind of principle as, you don't usually want to keep something like this around if you're worried about somebody stealing it, or it's just kind of like, yeah, if you want to wear it and stuff, it's not really easy to like display to an extent when you get home with it. So for the wife, I thought it'd be fun to make a actual little jewelry box that she can have this in, but it has an insert that I can remove later, or she can remove, and then she can just keep it for any other little jewelry that she has up on her kind of vanity. So I wanted to kind of press the envelope a little bit more, of course, using good old pallet wood, but the concept kind of came to me through that as well, is that a lot of these are either cardboard or they have a little bit of metal reinforcement and they have a pretty much stronger hinge in the back of it, and popping it out you can see that. So I thought a nice little display box is actually wood, that I can use some of these cool knots and designs and stuff that you can't really just get out of a box store that I've been finding more and more with pallet wood. Gave me inspiration to have a really cool, nice looking little jewelry box. So we're going to go through. I'm going to kind of go through. I have a few preliminary designs in my head, but I'm basically going to go off with the design of this box. Alright, now on that note, let's get to it. Alrighty, so I was able to take the hinge out of the little jewelry box here, or the, well yeah, it's just basically a little jewelry box here. But anyway, I got the hinge out, and I realized that I won't be able to put on the inside like this one was because of how thin the material is for this, versus I'm going with a thicker material. So what I ended up doing is, on this hinge, the whole thing runs off of a piece of spring steel, and it needs space. So I can't put that on the inside of the box like I was planning, because if it was on the inside then I'd have to groove it out, and also the thickness. So my compromise or fix for it was to cut a little groove so that the top part can actually sit pretty good and flush, and then it can actually still pop open, closed. And then for the bottom proportion, or this side, I will have to let this sit on the outside of the box, which wasn't my first choice, but I think I'm alright with it. It'll look It'll look decent, it'll look good. It'll be pretty well close to what I had originally anticipated and wanted. My one idea so far is to have 4 little legs on this. But I'm trying to decide how I'm going to sculpt those legs. And I might leave them flush. I might shorten them and make them a little bit not quite so prominent. These are just the first little length I ended up thinking that might look good. But we'll wait till the end for those once I construct the box. So that will be the final step. But I'm going to construct the lower half of the box. I think I'm going to use pin nails and glue on this proportion and the top, of course. And then for this guy, I might go with either just 2 tiny little pin nails, because that's going to sit on the inset here. And I was trying to leave a little bit of gap so you can get your fingers around it and it can still kind of move and pull out of there, because if I did this to the exact dimension once it slid in, I'd have a very hard and very limited chance to get this to come back out again. And I wanted the idea that it would potentially have a little bit of an angle, so that's why I only did the one side. I want it to come in a little bit because I'm going to drill 2 holes. Kind of a similar basis to the original little box, so that way the chain has somewhere to dangle. But I'm going to try to make it a little bit of a tight fit so it drapes perfectly right here as I had planned. And then I'm going to choose a spot once I have it all drilled out and this part built. I'm going to try to see where I want the earrings to be placed so it can be just like the insert, or better, of course, hopefully, than the original purchased one. So that's where I'm at now. We're going to go through, do some assembly. This will be the lid for it. I'm going to have this on the upside, so that'll be visible. And then I think I'm just going to chamfer the edges around it, give it some stylization. My original idea was to make it as dramatic as this one, but that would make it a lot heavier, and it would make it to where this hinge wouldn't necessarily work. Plus it would be very encumbersome for her to have, so this will be a little bit more of a slim, streamlined edition. So without further ado, let's get to it. Alrighty, and there it is. It turned out a lot better than I had anticipated. And at first I had my reservations that I'd actually even get it done. because I had an idea in my head, but I didn't have like a lot of these other crafters have like this whole AutoCAD thing set up, fully drawn out, fully just like to the T, exactly how much material they're going to need. But this was enlarging something in theory and changing it to fit the material that I was using, and also my approach for what I wanted for design. So the furniture tacks around the outside of it to kind of give it a bit more of a zest or zhuzh. Zhuzhing it up is a term I've heard quite a few often times in this instance. Just trying to dress it up a little bit more, make it have a little bit more of that old kind of cool style of jewelry box. And I had an idea for a severe contrast and utilizing some of the unique grain that you get out of pallets. And that's what I love about pallets, is that there's a lot of the same wood, but there's a lot of hidden gem wood that has just been through such rough transformation on its levels of just what is absorbed and the life it had before it got chopped up, made into a pallet, that you just don't get to see going to any big box store or any place that you want to just go buy lumber at. And that's why I love working with pallets so much. Plus, it's also just free, renewable stuff that we're going to need constantly. We're always going to need pallets for all sorts of different things in the world, so they're always going to be readily available for the most part. And if you just know where to look and get them, they're a wonderful product. All that aside, I am very happy and very pleased and excited to show this to my wife. She has yet to see it yet. And hopefully she loves it as much as I did. I kind of fell in love with it a little bit as I was making it. At first I was agitated and angry at it just because it was challenging me a lot more than I wanted it to. It's one thing to have a friendly challenge, but when it seems to get a little out of hand, that's when my agitation kind of flares because I don't see the end result. And that's something I'm working on greatly. But I am very happy with this end result, and it was not that much to put together. The furniture tacks, I got a 100-pack off of Amazon, I think for $8. So that wasn't too much, and I only used probably about 20 of them. So there's still more than half of a pack there. Besides that, or actually no, let's 40 of them, sorry. There are 40 on here. So I used almost half of a pack, so about $4 worth in the furniture tacks. The glue, I bought another big large container I'm probably going to have for yet another 2 to 3 years, so I'm not really out anything there. And then the material, and I think I used 8 pin nails. 8 pin nails, the furniture tacks, and then 4 screws on the bottom. So this was a nothing project as far as material usage. So anyone out there wanting to throw a little extra care and a little extra love for their Valentine's Day into a gift for their wife or significant other, this is something that would be a very easy approach, and it would be something that wouldn't cost a huge amount just to increase whatever you had purchased or created to put inside of it as well. And I just thought it was very striking and enjoyable to have something of a bit more of a blank natural palette in the back, and then have a lot more of a darker tone on the outside. And my wife, her 2 favorite colors is mostly black and red. So having the red with more of a dark or kind of darkish color outside as a contrast, I needed something to tie the 2 together. Otherwise I knew even though silver is shiny, it would get lost. So I am very happy with the result. If you did like this video as well and enjoyed this result and the video process along the way, please hit that like button. If you haven't yet, please subscribe. Every subscription helps. Ring the notification bell if you haven't done that as well. That'll give you every bit of information that's out there that I give you for any kind of post I do, any kind of update video that I do, or anything on the YouTube channel. And every subscription counts because we're getting closer and closer to 1,000. We're around 850-ish. A little higher, which is awesome. That is phenomenal. I, from the beginning, keep saying that I have only ever thought I would get 50 subscribers at most, or just even 50 views. I was like 50 of one or the other. But honestly, I didn't think I'd even get the 50 views. And the first goal I always had was just get 50 subscribers. But with this close to the finish goal, if I can get 1,000, that's monetization. So thank you all so very much. And hopefully you're having a good day, and if this is something that you're viewing to go for Valentine's Day for your missus, that is awesome. If you're looking for that last minute gift because you forgot as well, then this is also something that if you're a woodworker or have just a general idea, hopefully this gave you some inspiration, or just hopefully you enjoyed the video. So thank you very much for viewing. Have yourself a good one.